Hey friends, Pastor Fieberkorn here with you with a Business of Heaven Monday. Today's Monday, August the 14th. Apologize, I don't think we got out a Monday devotion last week. That's my fault. Hey, mentioning that, by the way, before we get into today's devotion, look for a change in the daily lineup coming post Labor Day as we get into fall in the school year. We're going to switch up our lineup a little bit for these daily devotions. Well, what we realized is that from time to time throughout the year, we have Mondays off for national holidays. The office is closed, or sometimes just because it's Monday, the devotion's not sitting right there for you in the morning to begin your day. Of course, you might make the point we could do it ahead of time on Thursday or Friday of the week before. That's true. But we may shift to a Tuesday through Friday lineup to send you into your weekend, and also might change the topic. Business of Heaven's been good. I like C.S. Lewis. I'm not sure the audience out there is as enamored with Lewis as I am. The material hasn't been quite what I thought it would be, although, again, I enjoy it, but might change to another figure, a very important, famous figure in our faith tradition. There's a little hint for you. So look for a change in that lineup to be communicated in a couple more weeks. But for right now, we're pressing with Business of Heaven Monday. I'm going to read a section from Lewis's work, The Problem of Pain, called Is It Really Kindness? Now listen to this. He says, for about 100 years, we have concentrated on the virtue of kindness or mercy. We've concentrated on it so much that most of us do not feel anything except kindness to be really good and nothing else but cruelty to be really bad. This is perceptive here. What he's saying is being nice is the only good virtue and being mean is the only bad virtue. He says this is a lopsided ethical development, not uncommon, because every age has its pet virtues and insensibilities. And if one virtue must be cultivated at the expense of all the rest, none has a higher claim than mercy, for every Christian must reject with detestation that covert propaganda for cruelty, which tries to drive mercy out of the world by calling it such names as humanitarianism or sentimentality. Okay. He says the real trouble, however, with kindness is that it's a quality fatally easy to attribute to ourselves on inadequate grounds. We too often consider ourselves, he says, to be kind people. Everyone, he says, feels benevolent if nothing happens to be annoying them at the moment. Thus, a man easily comes to console himself for all his other vices by a conviction that his heart is in the right place, right? You can do whatever you want, but if your heart is in the right place, that's what counts. See, you feel kind toward others, right? We wouldn't hurt a fly, we'd say. But this often precludes us from making the very real sacrifice for someone else. We think we are kind only when we are happy, not necessarily when we're actually serving our neighbor. It's not so easy on the same grounds to imagine ourselves temperate or chaste or humble. So you actually have to be temperate or chaste or humble. You can't pretend that you're those things if you're really not, but you can pretend you're kind if you just feel kindness, even if it stops short of actually doing acts of kindness for another. And so before we would allow ourselves to describe ourselves as cultivating the virtue of mercy or kindness, we should ask, is that just how we feel? Is it a sentimentality? Well, I'm a nice person versus a mean person. Or does our kindness actually translate into concrete actions that help another person in our life who needs our service of love? Is it really kindness? Do you have the virtue of kindness? Lewis would like you to reflect on that today. Well, God's peace to you and continued grace.